flexing in finesse, dressed to impress, gotta get it more.
So we here in DC. I got Carson Byrd with me. Mr. Just Know I'm Working. For those who don't know, please introduce yourself.
Hey, what's going on, world? It's Carson Byrd, aka CarsonByrd.com. Just know I'm working, voice of the urban millennial. A lot of things wrapped into one. Thanks for the opportunity. I'm excited.
Definitely. I'm excited to have you here again. We did one interview, but we had to run it back just because we like perfection, and I'm pretty sure you got a lot more to tell us. But I'm sure you do, Mr. Jack of all trades. Yeah. So let's start with Just Know I'm Working. Please explain to the people that movement.
Okay. Just Know I'm Working is a success advocacy brand. Founded it, I'm not going to say by accident, but by chance. I say by chance. I was living in Beijing, China. I got a Facebook message from like my dear best friend, cousin type of thing. And he asked me what I was doing in life, and I began to reply. I got about 2 pages on a Facebook message, and I decided to delete it. And I simply replied, just know I'm working. And the basis of that comment is just because some things are not seen does not mean they're not transpiring. So we advocate for millennial success in every aspect of the world, personally, financially, professionally, because you have to have something and some idea that you buy into while you're going on this journey of acquiring success, whatever it looks like, because it's not logical and it's not tangible. So, the idea it extends to everyone who can relate. So that's what we're doing. That's what it is.
So what would you say has been your biggest lesson on this journey?
I think the biggest lesson for me has been the walk with God. I just know I'm working is really my ministry. A lot of people don't know this, but I've been a divinity student for the past 2 years, studying at Howard Divinity on a super low, but just trying to find out more about life. I'm a big like social engineer. I gotta figure out the philosophy of life to figure out how to win the game, like a sports. Once I learn the rules, then I can be successful.
Right.
But when you're dealing with life, it's so many different things that encompass, the rules. So I think, like you said, the biggest challenge is being a test dummy for the 6 steps to success. So just know I'm working has a 6-step, guide to success. So I had to be the guinea pig for that guide. So that's been the hardest.
To be able to even tell the people that it's successful. What's the 6 steps?
6 steps is very simple. You go through failure. That's step 1. I think failure is where we all evaluate where we are in life. Failure being financially, romantically, physically, something. You experience something. And then after that failure, you go through the 2nd step, which is doubt. We tend to doubt ourselves after a failure, a heartbreak, bankruptcy. Am I really who I say I am? Then, by chance, we go through this reinvention of ourselves where we actually believe. I call it the mirror check. You droopy, and you finally walk past a mirror and you're like, there he is, there she is, I'm all right. And then after you go through that belief, you go through the 4th step, which is key and pivotal. It's the work phase, so that's what you see a lot of people on IG that buy into the theory, the idea. They in the 4th step, the work phase. They updating people on what they doing.
Right.
I just did this, I just did this, I just did that. But in that phase, one of the most key instances happen, and that's when we lose faith. We forget who put us there.
Right.
I say God, but in Just Know I'm Working literature, we say the universe based off people's denominations and stuff like that. But you talk to the universe when you fail, almost like that Charles Barkley moment in Space Jam. God, if you give me my powers back, I promise I won't do X, Y, and Z until you get your powers back, and then you do X, Y, and Z. So the 5th step is which I am currently completing. It's the hypothesis. So I believe that God tests our theory of greatness. You say you want to be X, Y, and Z. You say
so
that's
he's
what
testing it what, through struggle?
Through struggle. Because most people, when they get struggle, they quit.
Right.
So is it truly what you wanted?
Right. So then you'll revert back to maybe step 1, 2, 3.
Exactly. And that's how God works. God is not God is not a stickler. God is she's not one to misinterpret things and want to see you stressed or but at the same time, she does know your end goal, and for you to be able to embrace your end goal and sustain it
Right.
on a long term, on a large scale, you have to be able to go through the hypothesis phase. You know, those little jabs, those little.
And she want to make sure you're prepared for that.
She got to make sure you prepare for it
Put her name on the line.
Exactly, she
Right.
don't give it to you. So
Definitely.
I had to go through that. That's been a 9-10 month journey for me. You know, questioning myself, going back and forth. You know, almost on the verge of quitting, reevaluating, re-examining. You know, but I understand it. So
Right. That's good. That's as long as you understand,
Yeah.
or you know what is gonna come from it.
yeah, and the sixth and final step is embracing the process, or you know, and that's been what I've been on for the past 4 or 5 months is the speaking towards embracing the process. It's not the issue of it being a process or it hurting, but a lot of people complain and don't want it to stop.
Right.
The quicker you embrace it and hug the pain, hug the struggle, hug the loss, hug the bankruptcy, hug everything,
Right.
the quicker the blessing will come.
Definitely.
You know, the longer you stay in the gripe phase, the longer it's gonna last. It's
Right.
like pledging.
Definitely, I agree.
God pledge you.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, in all of that, what would you say has been your biggest? Like you said, you're in step 5 right now. What's been the biggest adversity or setback that has actually turned into a big success?
It's deep. It's personal. You know, some personal things.
Okay. Give us the minimal details. You know how to
But
sugarcoat.
yeah. I think for me was I would definitely have to say I would just say it was more in the heartbreak division because
Some love area.
Yeah, the love area, because I think love is our relationships. We get a lot of comfort in our relationships. That's what a relationship is, cuddling and all that. I don't cuddle, but that's what people
don't
are like.
cuddle?
Nah.
Okay.
So the biggest setback for me was financial instability. I started my company about a year 13 months ago, with a lot of zealous, a lot of upstart, and a lot of energy, and within 2 or 3 months, you know, everything had went down the drain. You know,
So you had that money then when you started? Okay.
Yeah, so I had that money mismanagement, you know, personal stuff happening, family issues, a lot of things that require a man's assistance. Even though I was a business owner, I still had to be a man first. But to be a business owner, you still need to be financially stable. So it was that work-life balance, and everything that transpired after my business kind of went down. I'm not gonna say down to 2 because it's still vibrant and sustainable.
Right.
But
Nobody would have been able to tell.
nobody would have
outside
been able
of
to tell. Yeah, so that's what created that
Bounce
dark
back.
place. That dark place for me created a lot of other upheaval in my personal life because of the finances. But it definitely taught me how to sustain
Okay.
and keep a smile on your face and be able to finesse. That's what we call it.
Definitely.
Life.
I always say that. The art of finessing will get you through life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, what advice can you give to people, period, on how to build a brand from the ground up?
I would definitely say to be successful, I guess, in a brand, you have to be the brand, and you have to be able to take the good and the bad of whatever is associated with the brand. Advice from building the ground up is it's 7 days in a week. You know, I would say, and people disagree, but my philosophy: you should never be the same person every day.
Okay.
You should have a different aspect of who you are. You know, if you're the brand architect, or you're the social media coordinator, or you're a photographer, different aspects of your company you should tap into. You got a lot of people that are the business, but then they don't have the ability to sell their product. And their product, my product is myself.
Right.
You know, the greater Carson is, the greater more people want to buy in. So I gotta
Exactly.
evolve at a rapid rate to keep
Right.
people purchasing Carson. You know, so that's what I would say. Be able to evolve. Be able to have different aspects of, I'm not gonna say sustainability, but different aspects of talent.